Alrighty, Tuesday, June 11th. Taking a look at ES here for a quick session recap. Not a ton to update here as far as ES is concerned. If you were in the session recap on Friday or you've been paying attention during the recent updates yesterday or today's pre-market prep live, yesterday's session recap, kind of talk about the main theme here, and I'll go ahead and reiterate just so we're on the same page about coming into tomorrow's action. Last Wednesday, we have the expansion move. Expected the inside day on Thursday. We see the inside day. Looking for a bit more volatility that Friday. I believe that was with NFP, and price just offers a range expansion day, meaning that it does not show a sustained break from the previous inside day, right? So just a range expansion day. Range gets a bit wider and sets up our near-term range essentially just like this. So I had mentioned on Friday at the close of this particular session right here where my cursor is that Monday most likely would spend the entirety of the day within here, and Tuesday as well. And again, not a prediction or anything like that, just working with probabilities. Anytime you have that big expansion move, volatility expands and contracts. So you get a big expansion move, volatility is going to compress, it is going to contract, and then you'll get those tighter range days. Now in this particular session we have news, so it brings a bit more volatility, but again, price just oscillates near this value area, near this volume point of control. Bring that into this week where we have FOMC on Wednesday and no big prints on the economic data calendar. What is the likelihood that price actually makes a substantial move outside of the near-term range? It's very low. It's possible, right? Anything is possible in markets, but the probability of that is quite low. So come into today's session wanting to see essentially how price is going to respond versus that 53.50, one of those mid-range reference points. Remember the range the near-term range low is down through there, near-term range high up through here. So any reference point that you kind of have in the middle of the range, it's considered mid-range. And as we know about ranges, the best opportunities are near the edge, down here or up here, right down here, up here. So 53.50 fails to hold off the open. Do see, if I jump into the actual intraday here, we do see a bit of a bid, at least an attempt right through there, but this candle doesn't show any follow through. So price just rolls over. You have a move down through the prior day low, just right around here, 53.41. Price tests that downside area of support right there at 53.35. That was the big support zone. Near-term range support zone, right through here, 53.35, and that marks the session low. What else do we have right through there? 10 a.m. reversal time. You love to see it. 10 a.m. reversal time marking the session low. Absolutely love that kind of action. And then some really good intraday setups throughout the day as well. Much like yesterday, despite price trading within the near-term range, we still have some pretty good action, which is great to see. You love to see it. So price, as far as right now, heading into FOMC day, where are we? Well, we're near that near-term range high. So tomorrow's watch is pretty simple. We want to see how price responds versus this upside 53.80 level. That is that near-term resistance zone. Now, as I've mentioned over the past few weeks, what we've seen with ES is that it is quite weaker than NQ. NQ definitely showing relative strength versus ES. Let's jump over to that NQ chart right now. You can see NQ triggering the near-term range breakout today. Very similar type of setup. You have the near-term range here. Price testing that area of support this morning. You get the bounce. You have a test of the near-term range high, right where my cursor is on that 30-minute chart, right? Pull back into the near-term range volume point of control. You also have intraday VWAP right through there, and it sets up the move for the breakout. Now, this was a little bit outside of what I was expecting for today. As I'd mentioned this morning, kind of like what we saw with ES. I was looking for another inside day today, another session spent within the near-term range. NQ continues to show its strength. And so what I'll be looking at for NQ into tomorrow into FOMC is how price trades versus this prior all-time high. It's going to be very, very simple. What we have on our hands here is a near-term range breakout, and we just want to see if that near-term range breakout can hold, right? If buyers can show acceptance above this breakout point, that is a good sign for buyers. Or if this is like, think of like a look above, an overshoot, or an up thrust, whatever you want to call it, if that's what this is setting up. And for that, again, all we have to do is watch how the higher time frames develop versus 19,150. So that'll be the main watch for tomorrow into FOMC. Heading into FOMC, expecting, as usual, lower volume in the morning, kind of more so just choppier type of conditions in the morning. We'll see how it actually looks once we get to the bell, the opening bell, and then all the volatility, all the action with actual FOMC and the Powell presser following the FOMC rate announcement. So I hope everyone had a good sesh. Hope you guys caught some of those longs today. Some really, really good setups despite price trading within the range. Those edges can really provide some strong edge. So if you have any questions about anything, feel free to shoot me a DM. Otherwise, I'll see you tomorrow morning. Have a good evening.